Hi, welcome to Story Time with me, Author DeAnna Wilson. I'm going to read another one of my short stories. I'd like to first give an acknowledgement to Reedsy.com for providing the prompt that inspired the story. The prompt was, center your story around someone or something that undergoes a transformation. Now, there is sensitive content in both parts of this short story. Also, I already said it. I'll be doing this short story in two parts. So once you listen to the first, please go ahead and look for the second one and click on that one. I promise you it is worth the listen. The title of this short story is What Happened to Sweet Little Meg? Well, let's find out. With bulging eyes and a muffled cry, he began to violently squirm in the trunk of my car, and right before I closed the trunk down on him, one single tear fell from his eye. In all of my time spent with him, I've never once seen him cry. That intrigued me. What finally made him shed a tear? I wondered. He hadn't shed one as he carelessly played with my heart, as he smacked me across my face. And he certainly didn't shed a tear while looking down at me as I begged him to spare my life and the life of our unborn child whom he was stumping out of me. So seeing that tear made me wonder, what was so horrible, more traumatic and sadder than that, which required him to shed one single tear from his cold eyes? I had to know. So I let the trunk go, bent over, pulled the cloth from his mouth, and asked him, "What saddens you? Why are you crying?" With a baffled look on his face and a shaky voice, he rapidly replied, "I think you've lost your mind. I'm afraid that you might go too far and accidentally kill me." "It hasn't gone too far yet. Just let me go. We can move past this. I won't tell. I know I was wrong all those years ago, so let's just call it even. I know I'm at least a man of my word. You know that. If I say I won't tell, I won't." Now, with a sincerely grave look on his face, a softer, calmer, but still shaky voice, he asked, "What happened to sweet little Meg? The one I met all those years ago in college?" It was that question that gave me pause. I now see his lips moving, but hear nothing coming from his mouth, just muffled sounds as my mind ponders his last question. What happened to sweet little Meg? What did happen to sweet little Meg that we both once knew? Moving while in a haze, I put the cloth back in his mouth, closed the trunk, jumped in my cherry red Cadillac, and drove off. While driving, I continued pondering the question, trying to figure out the answer myself. The pass-through that leads from the back seat to the trunk was open, so I thought I might as well think aloud so we can both try to figure out the answer to this question. Thinking aloud now, I said, I recounted times where people dismissed my feelings, mistook my kindness for weakness, overlooked me, and used me, but I don't think that did it. When I think about it, I could take all of that because it came from the outside world. And as long as my inner circle was solid and peaceful, nothing else mattered. You were my inner circle. You swore to support me, comfort me, help me grow, and allow me to do the same for you. You swore your allegiance to me. You swore to be my protector. But instead, you became my biggest threat. I lost my train of thought. Where was I? Oh, yes. Back to the question at hand. What happened to sweet little Meg? Maybe it was the abuse, the constant taking of me physically, forcing me to give myself to you when I didn't want to. Because as you put it, you were my husband, and there is no such thing as rape in a marriage. I felt I couldn't tell a soul because all I ever said was, no, I'm tired. Maybe later. Stop. But after a while, I stopped resisting. So there's no way that would hold up in a court of law. Hell, it didn't even hold up in my own mind. I didn't resist enough. I didn't fight you. Nor had I left after the first time. But I digress. Back to the question at hand. What happened to sweet little Meg? Maybe it was the stealing from our bank accounts, which I put money in. Not us, but I. Well, maybe it wasn't that. I could have accepted that. But to find out you were spending my money on other women, now that annoyed my spirit. But I'm not even sure that's what did it. I would have even let that go had you just let me walk with what was mine. That which you hadn't already taken. You had to be greedy. You had to be greedy and demand half in the divorce when you didn't even contribute a quarter of the wealth. Maybe even more than that. I think it was how I emotionally drained myself. But I did it so that I could build you up. Only for you to go out into the world a better person for her, for them. But never me. What happened to sweet little Meg? I don't know. I think she must have gotten tired of it all. She must have lost her way in life. With a wave of my hand, I say, no matter. She's gone now. She has been transformed into a better, stronger, more resilient being. Well, who knows if it's better or not? Who even cares? I don't. All I know is that I'm feeling good as I speed down Green Bay Road trying to find a hole to dump this trash. Ooh, Jason, my song is on. Do you remember this song? It's Crawling by Linkin Park. I blast the music and sing along like I always did. Crawling in my skin, these wounds, they will not heal. Ooh, I hit something that ran out into the road. I slow down, looking out my rearview mirror to see what it was. Looks like a possum. I guess it wasn't quick enough. I chuckle at that thought. I don't know why, but I do. Again, to myself, I think it looks pretty dead. I hope it's just playing possum for its own sake. I chuckle at that too, even harder. And back to our drive we go. And back to the singing I go. There's something inside of me that pulls beneath the surface, consuming, confusing. This lack of self-control I fear is never ending, controlling. I can't seem to find myself again. All right, part 2, coming up next.